For decades, the North Omaha community has heard many proposals which would change the underserved community. Promises of new buildings, new jobs, new hope. Today, officials with Omaha's Inland Port Authority unveiled a plan to create an innovative district near 30th and Ames. Here's First Alert 6's John Chapman.
This time it's different. Omaha's Inland Port Authority has purchased 6 acres of land near 30th and Ames. The plan? Build the first phase of an innovation space and grow it from there.
Our goal is to build the creative construction campus, multifamily housing, commercial, retail, and green space for the community.
Gary Clark, Executive Director of Omaha Inland Port Authority, calls this project transformational, and it lives up to the promise they made almost a year ago.
That means giving them direct economic liberation with the job creation, but also learning a trade or a skill that is technology-based, like 3D print housing or SIP panel construction, to make sure that they can put money in their pockets for the long term.
Nebraska State Senator Terrell McKinney, who was instrumental in acquiring the $30 million grant to fund the authority, wants to make sure this project helps the people of North Omaha.
As this work moves forward, we must ensure that the development creates opportunities without displacing the very people who have fought for this community. We cannot allow revitalization to become gentrification.
Officials stress this time it's different. Omaha's Inland Port Authority has purchased land, and they do have money to initiate the process.
But this is a monumental opportunity to say that North Omaha matters, that this community matters, that the residents here matter, that our students matter, and that we're building something that can bring us all together, not just for now, but for decades to come.
In Omaha, I'm John Chapman, First Alert 6.
The Inland Port Authority will need partners and investors to bring the project to fruition. They hope to see something built or established on site by 2029.